Come on, Spike. Come here, boy. We need a Spike break. So much crap going on right now. What's happening in Minneapolis is just infuriating me. I remember during 2019, 2020, when they were ramping up all the BLM stuff and all the George Floyd thing and everything. And I was begging President Trump when the CHOP and CHAD zones were happening in Seattle and Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington, when they were taking over entire downtown areas and saying, this is ours now, you can't come in. I was begging President Trump to do something about it. I think his attitude was, well, the people who are there will get enough of this and they'll realize they have to stop voting for Democrats. I don't think he understood at the time what I had already learned. No, that won't. They'll never learn. They seem to have no sense of self-realization to even try and imagine that they might be responsible for their own crap that they live in. They don't even seem to have that ability. So he never went in there. Oh, well, they're going to have to learn. Well, they didn't learn. And then all that happened with 2020 and the election was stolen, and it fully was. It fully was. I'm not even going to argue about that anymore, including with my own fellow Republicans. And now the same thing's happening in Minnesota with that joke that, oh, she's a mother. First, the media said, oh, Christian mother of three. Then we find out, well, she had the custody of two of them taken away. And that was because of her lesbo husband putting out cigarettes on the kids' arms and so on, allegedly. And she didn't have, it was just insane. I hate the media. You can't hate the media enough. And yeah, I'm part of it. It's all I've done all my life, radio and television. Got into podcasting when Salem Media Group pulled the rug out from under us. Almost 300 of us fired on the same day due to COVID cutbacks. It's been hard. I'm going to be real honest with you. It's been tough, and it's been hard to keep a positive mental attitude. So I turn to the Lord. The Lord promises a peace beyond all understanding. Thank God for our Creator and His Son, Christ Jesus. I turn to guys like J.J. Carrell. He's an author. He's a writer. He's a pundit. He's a commentator. I see him on news channels and so on, and brings a real perspective, and a retired Border Patrol agent, and now has gone back to work for another well-known federal agency to help with, I'll let him tell you, because there's things going on right now that cannot keep happening, or we're turning this entire nation's going into a civil war. J.J. Carrell on Do Not Talk. Hit it.
How you doing? Thank
my
you for having me
Wi-Fi
on
is
your
spotty
show, my
at
friend.
best. Oh, no, buddy, anytime. I love having you on. Well, I'm not in my home studio. I'm way up here in NorCal, going to be broadcasting live from an event tomorrow and Saturday. I'm looking forward to. I wish I could tell you more about it right now, but it'll be on the show tomorrow on rumble.com/do not talk. But JJ, you this is you're back on the show again. I want to hear some good news. You've got much more of an inside track on what's happening with Border Patrol and immigration and customs enforcement. What's happening?
I rejoined law enforcement because Joe Biden, because Donald Trump, because of Joe Biden's actions, Donald Trump has asked a lot of retired Border Patrol and ICE officers to come back to work. So myself and a lot of my colleagues.
That was the big, beautiful bill, JJ. Yeah. The big, beautiful bill, which they fought so hard against. That was the funding to get more ICE officers and Border Patrol agents, and now it's happened. Thank God.
Yep, we're bringing guys in that have we're street ready. So we've already been through it. So we're back, and I will tell you, it is it's powerful to be in law enforcement with such backing from the top down. This is a rarity. It's like never happens in law enforcement, from the president to our secretary DHS to Tom Homan to Rodney Scott, the commissioner of CBP. Uh, we're lockstep, and in any organization, be it Xerox, Google, Facebook, whatever tech company or grocery store chain, if you're not aligned ideologically, your company's gonna fail. Same thing in law enforcement. If you're not aligned and have
House
the
divided
goals
against
and
itself cannot
expectations,
stand.
no, it can't. And what Donald Trump is doing and why everyone's so upset, the left are so upset, is because he unfortunately inherited a land of treason. And what Joe Biden did and what Mayorkas did to America was treason. 30 million people came into America in 4 years. Right now, Donald Trump is admitting that there are 25 million. So we're really kind of just splitting hairs now. We're looking at, so I want your audience to understand the totality of what's happening in America. 55 million per the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, 55 million legal immigrants are in America. 50 plus million illegals are in America. We're over 105 million people that are in America are foreign nationals. We're 1 in 4 people in America, almost 1 in 3, some people are saying, that are foreign nationals. What happens if we go to war? And don't think that we're not close to war. We're the whole globe, excuse me, the whole earth is completely on fire. It's chaos everywhere. So thank goodness, thank God we have a strong America first leader in Donald Trump.
This whole thing just with Bill and Hillary Clinton snubbing their nose. I mean, Steve Bannon went right to jail for that. So did Roger Stone, and there were others who went to jail because they didn't show up to testify when they were called before Congress. Bill and Hillary Clinton have now been playing tap dancing moves for the past year, trying to get around it. And there was always some reason. And oh, we had to go to a funeral and it was postponed. And then finally it went, no, no more. This is it. Bill Clinton has left the country.
Oh, really? I did not hear that.
Nobody knows where Hillary is now. They didn't show up. They were called before Congress. They did not show up. I will remind you, Steve Bannon did the perp walk.
Yes.
He had to go to prison for doing the same thing. Now, what's going to happen with Bill and Hillary Clinton? If they do bring them up and they are arrested for not showing up to testify before Congress, there are people on the left and the right saying that's going to be all it takes to turn this into a civil war. Everybody's talking civil war now. How realistic is that, do you think?
I think we're sitting on a powder keg in America. And the reason why, and Hillary and Bill Clinton are the perfect example to talk about this. We do not live in a nation of law and order anymore. We have us, the conservative side, we follow the law, pay our taxes, are respectful, and the left are trying to kill us and have killed us. They're trying to dox us. They're trying to take away your right for free speech, your right to earn a living. Where do I meet them? Where do I meet them? And then, but you have to give the Democrats a lot of credit. And I think, as an honest man as you are and as I am, we have to tip our hat to the Democrats. The Democrats, they do what they need to do. Steve Bannon, you're going to jail. All right, get him in jail. They don't hesitate. There's no hesitation. Bill and Hillary Clinton, who's going to go get them? Is it going to be Comer? Is that what I'm banking on? Am I banking on John Thune? Am I banking on Speaker Johnson, the little tiny little doll man? No. No one's going to do this. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Jim Jordan? Quick, name me one thing Jim Jordan has done his entire career in Congress except go on Sean Hannity's show. Nothing. So when you start telling me, well, when they're going to go to jail, my answer to you is they're not. They're not, because Hillary Clinton.
I don't think they are either. I don't believe that they're going to.
Because Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton know where all the bodies are buried, and they know who buried them. And they will spill their guts all over the place, and they will bring that place down to its knees. And so everyone's going to circle the wagons. This will be a big theater. We're going to arrest Bill Clinton. He's going to snub his nose at us. Then it's just going to disappear. Then we're going to go on to Greenland, and we're going to go on to more unrest in Minnesota and Maine and Ohio and California, and we're going to have anarchy in America. And we do have anarchy right now. And thank God we have a leader like Donald Trump. But I want the Insurrection Act called, and I want law enforcement to be protected.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. I fully agree.
Well, they have to. I mean, we have to. Can you imagine if we did this? If we acted in any way like a 10% of what the left is doing, punching, trying to run over police officers and law enforcement officers, doxing them, going to their hotels and have them stay up all night, breaking into their vehicles and ripping their vehicles apart and taking sensitive information and guns out of FBI lock boxes that are tied, that are secure in their vehicle, which is per policy we're allowed to do that. But you can't even do anything because we have anarchy. You just mentioned that the woman that died, the good Christian woman that is a lesbian that left her husband died, and her lesbian lover likes to put allegedly cigarettes into her arms of her two children, and she would rather be with that psychotic lesbian sexual freak than with her two children. And now she's dead. May she be in heaven, because I don't want anybody to rot in hell. But when you play adult games and you play men games, you're going to get men prizes. And that's what's happened. And we need to focus in on who are the problem. The most dangerous group of people in America are not the Muslims, are not the rapists and murderers that are the illegal aliens. The greatest enemy of America right now are middle-aged white women. They are absolutely out of their mind. That's true.
You're so right. You're so right. It goes deep, right? Karens.
It is a department of Karens. And then I would say I was on a podcast last night, and we were talking about this, and it really kind of dawned on me. There has to be a psychological connection between decades of use of hardcore narcotics for mental disease, hardcore birth control pill, and the rampant use of abortion. You cannot have that type of surgery done to a woman over and over and over again and think that woman, those women in America, are going to be intellectually and spiritually sane. They're not. They're not. They are mentally ill, and we have a massive mentally ill epidemic among white middle-aged women.
Well, we know they might fire up their Kia Sorento and try and use that as a weapon, but they're not going to be taking up arms and hitting the streets.
No.
Although I'm quite convinced this $50 million or 50 million people army of illegals that Joe Autopin Biden brought in. You said 30 million. I say 50. I agree with Gil Mazda. I think it's closer to 50. Anyway,
50 million are in our country right now. There's 50 million illegal aliens in our country right now.
Yeah.
Easy. And
I
can go up to 60.
Really going to be the ones, because I've seen the video of who was coming across the border. And these are military-aged men. They weren't little families looking for a better life. They weren't escaping oppression.
No.
They were military-aged men done up in dark garb and military-looking clothing. Where did they get that from, by the way? Who supplied that clothing for them to come across the border? They were ready to take up arms, and I think that the left was going to utilize them to create nothing but murderous chaos to stand up and stop Donald Trump. I'm quite convinced of it. Am I off base?
No, you're not, because when you look into the numbers and the type of illegal alien that crossed, 60 to 70% were single adult military age men from the continent of Africa, Middle East, Venezuela, and Haiti. Okay. Then you have a smattering of women and children. 60 to 80% of the millions of women and children that crossed the border were raped or sexually assaulted. We brought over a ticking time bomb into America. I believe 100%, and I can sit here for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours and articulate evidence after evidence after evidence why. No one wants to talk about why did the Democrats did this. Why did the Democrats bring in 30 plus million people plus 22 million that were already here? Because
Voters.
they want to, yes, they wanted to demographically change America. And they are demographically changing. I tell people all the time, we have a ticking time bomb that is slowly blowing up, and then it's going to be a gigantic explosion, and it's an explosion of demographics. White Americans have decreased in population percentage from 90% in 1970 to now we're under 55%. We are going to be, by 2035, the minority majority in our own country. It's over. We're dead. We're done. The people that we brought into our country reproduce up to 5 times that of our population. 5 times. This is a math problem now. This is not race and ethnicity. This is simply a numbers game, and we lose unless President Trump is able to do mass deportation, and I'm talking tens of millions. They must leave. They must leave right now, and we need to reclaim our sovereignty and our nation. And if anybody stands in the way, you mow them down.
ICE doesn't have enough people to do that, and they're already being doxxed. They're already being threatened. They're already being. This is a horrific time. What's going on? They got some kind of app that follows wherever ICE is going to be, and all the protesters are there before they even go to make arrests. They have jails and prisons that are refusing. This could be fixed very quickly and easily if local jails and police force and sheriff's departments would cooperate with immigration, because you could literally just pick them up right out of prison and get them out of here.
But why won't they? Think about this. Think about what we're talking about. So let's look at Minnesota, for example. You have a mayor that's basically Somalian. You have a governor that is corrupt. You have a congresswoman that is from Somalia. She's corrupt. The chief of police now the sheriff is a Somalian, and he said, "I'm here for Somalians." Do you think he's going to participate with the federal government? Meaning, we have allowed this invasion of third world people into our country. They then instill through our republic form of government, instill their representatives, and their representatives represent them and their country. They do not represent us. We are living in a balkanized nation, and we are losing our nation. And that's not hyperbole. That's just the truth.
Can it be stopped?
Yes, because we're America. But let me use this analogy because I think it's the best analogy, okay? We are not getting out of this situation without using extreme force, violence, bloodshed, and it's going to be horrible. The United States of America is a human being in a stage 4 cancer. We have cancer on all of our body, from our toes to our head. And I'm the doctor, and I come to you, CharLee, and I say, listen, you have 2 choices, and they're both going to suck. One's going to suck worse than the other. We do nothing for 6 months to a year, you are going to die, and it's going to be painful. Or, CharLee, I'm going to put you on the operating table tomorrow morning, and I'm going to carve your body up. It's going to be absolutely miserable and painful. You are going to come out of surgery, and it's going to take you months, if not a year or 2, to fully recover. But if you do what I say, I will keep you alive, and you will have a prosperous life. Which one do you want? That's the choice facing America. Do you want to die in 6 months to a year, meaning the savages take over our country, or do you want to go under surgery and have it removed? It's going to be painful. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be frightening, but that's the only medicine that's going to correct this. And I believe that to be absolutely factually true.
They don't have the stomach for it. Americans don't have a stomach for it. I mean, they allowed it to happen for 4 years under Biden and 8 years under Obama. They sat back and they listened to the media telling them, "Oh no, he's the deporter in chief," talking about Obama. And then when it came to Biden, they couldn't even ignore it. They couldn't even explain it away, so they had to just ignore it.
Well,
We
I
don't have
think
the stomach for it. The first time they show any kind of real, true violence and so on, and people screaming and wailing and gnashing of teeth, all of America is going to go, "Oh, stop! Make it stop!" And then come the midterms this summer and the primary elections, and we're like, "We got to get the Democrats back in power." And Lord help us
well, if the
if
Democrats
that
come back in
happens in
power,
November.
we're all going to jail, Charlie. If they
Yeah,
take
you and
back, we're
me,
all going to
you and
jail.
me, we will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you'll have a mass exodus of law enforcement. We'll just leave. We're not going to work for this guy or those people. Look what we have in our. Just can we just stop and really be honest? What's going on in our houses of Congress? We have illegal aliens as congresswomen and congressmen, people
Yeah.
that came here under birthright citizenship, and we have people that
They're running
literally
for office
came.
in California.
Yeah. And they just came off the boat and they got voted in. So now you have people that don't have, it's not dual allegiance or dual citizenship. They have one citizenship, one allegiance, one loyalty. That's to wherever the crap hole country that they came from. And I want your audience to understand too. The vast majority, 180 plus nations crossed the border under Joe Biden. So basically the whole world came here. The vast majority came from third world countries that have 50 to 60% incestuous rate, meaning they're having sex with either their brothers or sisters or their cousins and having families. They have IQs because of that. They have mental retardation epidemic. So the vast majority of all the people living in Africa and the Middle East and Latin America
The
have what
Muslim
we call.
controlled countries
Yes, they have an
are the
IQ that
worst.
is below 70. Why is
Yeah.
that important? Because we have medically determined an individual that has an IQ below 70 is mentally retarded. We imported tens of millions of mentally retarded people into our country.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me how that diversity is going to play out. It's not. We're going to die. We're
Yeah.
going to die because I'm going to tell you who's going to win this war. Think about this. Some guy that came from Haiti with an IQ of 65, but he's already committed at least a dozen murders, and 8 of those murders he's used a machete to hack someone to death. This is not hyperbole. This is the truth. Who's going to win that battle? The barista that doesn't know if he needs a tampon or not, or the guy that's very useful with a machete? My bet, I'm putting all my money on the filthy, retarded Haitian that's going to kill the guy with the man bun and the skinny arms. Sorry, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my whole mortgage payment and put it on the Haitian. Now, the only thing that gives me hope are there men like us. And I think there's barely enough men like us that will take up arms and take our country back. And if you don't think that we're close to that, all we are is one match lighting the fuse to quote a civil war, whatever that looks like, and then a charismatic leader rising up for people like us, and we will flock to him. We will flock to him because we have no choice. The choice that's waiting for us is what happened to Steve Bannon and the 1,500 January Sixers is solitary confinement, financial ruin, destruction of our families. You might as well go ahead and kill me. I'm not doing that. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh, brother, this has got to win. Pray against evil. Pray that this is successful. Pray for people like men like JJ and the other men and women in law enforcement who are stepping up and
Well, I
support.
appreciate that. We need the prayers. Listen, this isn't fun and games. What if I told you, Charlie, you pick your 5 best friends that are like accountants, they businessmen, and I tell you, hey guys, starting tomorrow, every single day you go to work, people are going to come up and try to punch you in your face. They're going to try to run you over, and then you're going to try to run back into your house, but it's too late. They've already doxed you. So everyone's waiting for you in your house. And it's going to happen every single day for the rest of your career. How long are you going to stay in that career? How long are you going to sign up to do that? No, the average American will never experience that type of violence every single day. Every single day. This is I get I get frustrated, and I don't know if frustrated is the right word, but emotional. I'll say this: emotional is that I spent 24 years doing this, and I got out. I got out alive in one piece. There are so many days that I think when I was retired, dear God, I got out of there. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I got out of there.
Mhm.
Now I'm back. Now I'm back in.
Now you're
And I
back.
and yeah, and I'm looking at around, and the one thing that gives me great hope is the men and women that I'm working with are strong patriots that believe in what they're doing, and I feel like they'll have my back and I have their back. But why do I live in a country where I feel the greatest threat are not the people that I'm arresting, but my own citizens that I'm protecting? Think about what I just said. The people that I'm arresting are rapists and murderers and pedophiles, and they stole $25 billion from you, plus the other hundreds of billions of dollars annually through fraud in America. And you, America, are siding with them, and you're fighting me that I'm keeping the rapists away from you. And you don't thank me? You try to run me over?
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy. It's
it's
weird.
crazy. I'm living in the
It's
twilight zone.
demonic.
It is, but we have to fight. And I'm not saying everybody needs to join federal law enforcement or your local law enforcement, but everyone has a role in this. I know what my skill sets are. I know what God gave me to be able to work in this violent world, and I thrive. But there's other things people can do. You can run for city council. You can run for school board. You can help somebody run. You can go to your sheriff and demand that they have a larger child sex trafficking task force. There's a million things that you can do, but one thing you can't do is you can't sit down and say someone else will take care of it. There is no one else. We're left. This is it. Without us, it ends. If you don't
You
feel a
are the
sense of urgency,
cavalry.
you are.
You are the cavalry.
There's nobody coming, my man.
No,
There's no one coming but us. So get that in your head and get in the ball game.
please.
Yes.
It's a hard, really hard thing to see too when it's obvious that local police are against
Mhm.
the federal law enforcement officers that are trying to make things right. Local police.
But
But when
why would I think that shouldn't happen? You have in your state of California, you have LAPD coming out of their police academies illegal aliens. You have the state of Washington just signed a bill that allows illegal aliens to be police officers. They do it in Illinois right now. We have people that are enforcing our constitutional laws that are illegally in our country. They do not even have the same protections of the Constitution that they're enforcing. We live in a twilight zone.
it is a twilight zone, oh, start praying hard. Pray for people like JJ. Pray for people who are out there on the front lines. Pray for their safety. Pray for our president. Lift them up. Pray for their protection. Oh, good Lord. This is a perilous time, my friend. But, it's not an accident that we are living in times such as this because the Lord does bring up people who will stand up against evil. Ephesians 5:11, be no part of the works of darkness, but instead even expose them. So I'm going to keep doing that. You keep doing what you're doing, hero, and buy JJ's books. Support him. Tell us about your website. Where can we find you and follow along with your show? You got a podcast too.
Yeah, I do. But everything I put into it, I love my website. I'm so technically not sound. So I have a great company that runs my website at jjcarrell.com. Just go to jjcarrell.com. It has everything there. And I appreciate the time to come on your show and speak to your audience. We live in peril times, and I do ask that you pray for your law enforcement, local, state, and federal law enforcement. They are trying with everything they have, with every ounce, 6, 7 days a week, they're working for you. So why don't we give them, if you can't help them in any other way, say some prayers for them, because Satan is prowling the earth, and demons, his demons have gone into the bodies of our Americans, and they are doing absolutely demonic things to righteous, God-fearing, patriotic law enforcement officers.
This is hard to hear. Oh my God, this is hard to hear. I'm so grateful for you and what you're doing. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you real soon. Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Thank you.
I wish I had some encouraging, comforting words to say now. The only thing I can do is just say, we are promised a peace beyond all understanding by our Father. In His Word, we're promised that, but you got to ask for it. Got to ask for it. If you're not saved, if you don't know Christ Jesus, get with Him. Get it right. That's the best advice I can give you right now. I wish I had more comforting words, but if you only knew the saving grace and the peace and the freedom of knowing who you are with and where you are going, you realize that's the greatest advice I can ever give you or anybody. But you got to knock and then He'll answer. You got to seek and then He'll find. Then you'll find. Seek in His Word. Read the book of John. Start there in the Bible. The book of John. Good one. The best one to get started. And then a chapter a day keeps false teachers away. You can't be fooled. Get into the Word. Get right with God now more than ever. More than ever. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America, bless God.